Damn, man. Yo, I hate everybody here.
Again?
It's Rap Life Review, man. I hate it. Because before we start taping, man, they be winding me up. And then we get on the thing, and everybody try to act like it's me. It's not me, y'all. Y'all gotta know it's not me.
It's definitely you.
You help. You definitely help.
I participate, but I'm not alone.
It's him. Don't sugarcoat it. It's him.
It's absolutely him. So, Ebro, last week everybody pointed out that you were extra sassy on that episode.
I wasn't sassy is not a term that describes how I move around. First of all, I don't know about y'all, but I don't see myself as sassy.
But see, that goes back to the whole glazing thing too. See, you can't use those
Get
words.
sassy and glazing together?
Nah, I can't
We
do that.
start with the glaze already?
No, I'm just saying, what he's saying, he's referring to the words.
That's Eddie, that's Low, and that's Nadeska. Last week, it was a lot of, we moved around the internets heavy because we had a conversation about Doja Cat. Doja Cat's fans obviously was upset, and I think Doja Cat was obviously, a little bit hurt too, because things that were framed, at least by people who know the truths about them. There were things talked about on this show that are quote unquote lies. But the reason it was talked about is because when I brought her up as being excited about her new album, V, I think it's pronounced, Eddie, I asked Eddie if he was excited about Doja Cat. And you said,
it's kind of, and what happened was.
And I said, why? I started to probe why. In me probing why,
yes,
it became evident that it wasn't the music that had you And
I repeated several times, she makes good music, she makes great music. And I said that, and I've said a million, and I'm not backtracking what I said. Let's be clear, because people do this thing where they see us start talking and try to clarify what we're saying, and they go, oh, you're backpedaling. I am not backpedaling. I stand on what I said, but pay attention to what I said.
Wait, what exactly did you say? Because I don't even know if you actually said anything.
I didn't really.
So why don't we just, hold on, I'm going to read you Doja Cat's response to it, and then you can clarify.
Just quick though,
okay.
Before the clarification.
Okay.
It's important, I'm staying on this, whether these are truths or lies, this narrative about Doja Cat, the comedian on the shirt, the chat rooms when she was fucking 15 years old or however old she was, which was like 15 years ago, that people bring up these chat rooms and showing feet and all this stuff, whether they were truth or lies. Whether they're truth or lies, the fact is they have shaped a narrative about an artist that I think if we went around the room, we all find extremely talented and a great contributor to what we love, which is both R&B, hip hop, and pop.
A fact.
Right? We all agree with that. But the reason I was probing the question to Eddie was because it has shaped the way people view her. That's a fact, even when they like the music. So when you say, yo, Doja's dropping a new album, V, and I'm me personally excited based on the fact that I was excited about the last album. The last album had dope shit on it, and specifically hip-hop shit. Why wouldn't we all, and the album before that had dope pop, mainstream R&B shit on it. Why wouldn't we also be excited about this? Your lack of excitement, Eddie, is about the narrative. I just wanted to be clear about that. Yeah. This wasn't about her talent. This wasn't about any of that. This was specifically about when you say her name, it is associated with some controversy that is almost, and to her fans' point, unfair. Right? Because people are either holding on to narratives that were created that she never addressed, or like specifically the comedian who was a Nazi, she came and we sat down and she was like, yo, I didn't know, my bad, I ain't on that type of time. But that shit doesn't go as far as the jokes, because people want to make jokes about chat rooms and feet because of Nori's tweet from a long time ago. But all of that shit said, yo, that was like, how long she been around? 2017, 2018? Right? The girl's just now in her late 20s. I don't know how old she is. But these narratives continue to shape. But now over to what Doja said.
Okay. Well, she did say she was angry and incredibly disappointed. Just to lead with that. But I mean, so the fans did say that you guys are spreading misinformation. They would love for us to clear it up. But as Ebro just clarified, you were stating facts about things that actually happened, but she said that. He says, I don't want to stand up for myself in regards to all of these lies being told, because to be honest, I don't think it'll make a difference. I've just learned to let ignorance be and let people learn and use their own discernment. She said, if you watch the news, she put us in quotes for that one, and believe it all, what kind of person does that make you? I will say,
I
always
appreciate
wonder.
you calling us news. I
In
just want
quotes,
to say that
in
if that
quotes.
was intended for us.
No. Yeah, that was definitely a shot at
Hey,
us.
and
It
the
was
fact
in
that we
quotes.
was even in proximity to news, that's an accomplishment.
That said fake
I
news
feel
to
good.
me.
I feel good.
But I don't know if she saw the whole segment where we
Right.
started by talking that we did appreciate her artistry, or she just saw a social clip and then took just the negative part of it, unfortunately.
that's
Which is
fine.
usually how
And
it
maybe
works.
she ended up seeing the whole clip, which is why she deleted.
Perhaps.
I doubt it, but you know what? That's her right. She can be mad, she can be offended, she can feel however she feels. Her fans can be defensive, and that's okay. The reality of it is, I don't get on this platform to do a hot take to be controversial. Honestly, I'm just trying to get on here and have fun, to be perfectly clear with you. But I also want to tell my truth and how I feel about stuff. And you're never gonna point to me and be like, hey, how do you feel about somebody? Especially when it's, heavier topics, and I'm gonna be dismissive of the fact of how I truly feel about stuff. So if people are mad, they've never heard me say a million positive things about her. And from this point on, whenever we bring up Doja Cat, I know what the comments are going to say, like, Eddie this, Eddie that. But if you watch the clip, I was trying not to I was alluding to it. I was trying not to really say it. But with that narrative out there, when she comes up, it's always like this weird, like, huh? And she's not the only one. There's a million artists, male, female, everything in between, that when you bring them up, there's this weird, like, it is what it is.
Well, and that's why I probed on it, because I know a lot of the question marks around Doja are tied to things we've heard, right? And because honestly, if we're being real, she trolls on the internet a little bit. She makes jokes,
A little bit,
or a lot,
Yeah, she be going at her own fans.
Yeah, there you go. So I think some of that also shapes the narrative, because people don't know, and I think that's where the discussion ended last week. We don't know where she's at with certain shit.
To be honest with you, I was surprised to hear that she was that upset or disappointed by the comments. Because she's always given me, like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, she doesn't really care about what people say about her. So I was surprised this really struck a chord. Maybe things are changing
But
a little
yeah, we'll see where this shakes out. But I am excited about the album. I also think that, and these are my own personal feelings, just being a mixed kid. When you're, and I said this last week, when you're a mixed kid and you're operating in society in general, right? You don't often, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, in whatever shape or form, but this is specifically about mixed kids. You often don't get as much grace when you're talking about certain topics or how you handle certain shit. And it's a very unique space to be in. And Doja, being a Southern California Tarzana mixed girl, I think grew up and when you read and understand where she's coming from, she grew up in a very unique atmosphere. Growing up in Hinduism, in an ashram, surfing, like she's like a whole world that I don't think even most people would quite understand unless you grew up in that environment and had a South African father and a Jewish mother and, was raised around all these different, this whole different world where it probably wasn't so much about Black culture or even race for that matter in general until she stepped out in the world and people was probably calling her all type of N-words and all type of shit. Because when you're a mixed kid, you ain't never Black enough. You definitely ain't white. They hurling the N-word at you and all that. So she's dealing with a lot of complications I don't think a lot of people can relate to in that regard. So that might be a part of the disappointment as well.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I think we're gonna get a fire album. Now, to the new music this week. We go to Eddie first. I believe the last time we checked in with Eddie on this artist, you were very excited. Gelo has a new single. He's got one with Glorilla too.
Yup.
I'll tell you one thing.
It's your fault, bro.
Maybe you can't find the words off top to describe your joy around this. Similar.
This ain't no real joy from him, but go ahead.
But I give Gelo this. The hooks is kind of popping. Whoever he's doing the hooks with, he ain't really missing on the hooks.
He brought back, inadvertently or not, retro 2000s hip hop, man. He's single-handedly bringing on the reemergence of such songs as "A Baby" and such other hits. This is in that vein. Shout out to Gelo, man. You know what I'm saying? Pops out here, he told us, man, big baller brand. You know what I'm saying? We got the two NBA, man, look.
Yeah.
I can't even
Shout out
tell
to
if
the
he's
homie.
serious or not.
Shout out to the homie, man.
I can't even tell if
So there we go. New Gelo out. Also, I got to shout out Rod Wave doing a song for the Sinners movie, which dropped. Shout out to my boy Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. I got to go to the premiere last week. They had the whole like red carpet thing with all the actors and shit. Fire film. And I think the soundtrack's gonna have more fire on it too. So shout out to Rod Wave on that. And then we got a shout out. Listen, I got a chance to hear this Ray Vaughn album.
What it sound like?
It's one of those ones, guys.
In what way? Lyrically, storytelling, production, just the whole nine?
Everything.
Gotcha.
Everything. And I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get it, digest it. I think this single Dollar Menu is a good start, but the whole album is well thought out, well executed, and more to come on that. And then shout out to Russ, April 7th, he got a new single.
Yep.
And then, back to Eddie now, DDG, your guy, you was on his stream. You know what I mean? Talk to us about this DDG, the Baby record.
Yeah, so they made this song. Originally, it was just DDG, and I guess the Baby came on the stream, and he kicked that ish. And, you know, the Baby, say what you want. That boy can rap his ass off. So they got the joint motion out, and DDG's about to drop his album. And it's kind of dope when you're in that streamer space and that YouTube space where he lets a lot of his fans kind of dictate the music. Even when I was on the stream, it was like a lot of people like GTA, GTA, GTA. And then GTA could be a single or one of the songs they prop up. So we're in a new age in 2025.
Wait, so you was on the
artists
stream like you
really
was like actually on the stream, or you was just like?
Yeah, I went to the house, and me and Nick, we was at the house. We was on the stream. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard some things.
Now, were
about
the
that
people
stream.
saying GTA because they was looking for GTA 6, or this
No,
sort
he has
like
a song.
everybody else, or?
He has a song called GTA. So I was like looking at the stream, and it was like GTA, GTA. And, you know, and as I was talking to him on the stream, I was like, yo, how do you do this? And he was like, I let my fans pick a lot of the music. So as of 2 weeks ago when we talked to him, he was still, you know, kind of sifting through and seeing what songs were actually going to make the album. He don't even know the album title. So, but I think it's about to drop like in the next 2 weeks.
They making that shit in real time.
Basically,
Yeah.
Lil Yachty and V's.
Dope.
I mean it, right? No.
I really mean it.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Can't be Creek Boy.
It kind of go.
Save it.
It kind of go.
Save it.
No?
Hey.
Not at all.
Wait. This is wait.
even the
Hold on,
production?
wait.
Not at all.
So wait, because you're so attached to the original.
There can be ways where you can flip certain samples. Like, you know, I'm a big sample head, right? Diplomats were big. They were sample heavy. You know, the Heatmaker, shout out to them. But that was lazy. Just nothing. Nah.
What do you mean?
It just wasn't good.
It sounds good.
To y'all.
Eddie, am I
Nah,
wrong?
to y'all. Like, I'm not. I mean, like, I'm not saying. I can't.
So you don't like that they didn't do nothing else with it? They just threw the
Yeah, it was.
instrumental on.
I just didn't like
They
how
did a
they. I didn't like how they
beat
used
switch.
it. I didn't like how
It's
they
a
used
beat
it.
switch.
I didn't like how they used it. I'm sorry. I just didn't like how they used it. This ain't no personal. This is, you want me to hear the music? I listen to the music? Nah, that was a lazy. I don't like it.
Wow.
The man knows what he likes.
People can't.
Nah, you want me? No, because when I got on here, I was talking about the Playboy Cardi shit. And was like, yo, you just dancing, like, just say, y'all don't like it. Y'all happy? I don't like it. I ain't like how they flipped it. It
Nah,
was
you
lazy.
been back to that Playboy Cardi though. There's like 3 records on it. And that Backdoor's fire. Wow. Mojo Jojo's fire. I know you went back to a couple on the Playboy
Yeah, and I
Cardi.
still.
You don't like Backdoor?
You know what? I don't like it. I don't like it. Y'all wanted this? Y'all want me to stop ice skating and shit? I don't like it. I don't
Yo,
like that,
good-
and I don't like this.
V's though, Detroit.
That,
He
no,
went back to his
listen,
old-
I'm not saying can't rap. Well, Yachty can't rap, but I'm not saying V's can't rap. I'm just saying I don't like it. I just don't like the record.
All right,
Wow.
He had the Michigan Boy Boat album. He goes back
Bro,
with V's.
yo,
and
V's
stays
is
true to
dope. I'm not
Detroit.
saying he's not dope. I don't like what they did with this record. Don't take this as me saying, yo, V's ain't shit and Yachty
Yo,
don't make
V's
such.
Hive, where y'all at?
I'm just saying I don't like this record. Can I get back to my point where I be saying I don't like shit instead of just like, you know, tiptoeing with people?
Well, I think the reason,
but I'm telling you why I don't like it also.
right, which is good, I
Yeah.
appreciate that, but
Respect.
that's fine. I think trying to be more, provide more insight is just welcomed on the program.
No, yeah, I'm not. I did that for Cardi. I broke down why I didn't like certain shit. And I broke down why I like the Yachty and V's. Right? I'm
But you
giving
feel like when you give context, you say you're just dancing around it?
when I give context, people be like, "Oh, you just dancing. You just not saying what you feel." But I'm like, well,
You can't win.
Yeah.
I can't like. So if I say I don't
Nah.
like something, I just say it with my arms folded.
You're
Like,
either a hater
oh, he don't
or
say
you're
nothing. But
skating
when I
around
say
it.
I don't like something, it's like, damn, this is mad, angry Monday morning for no reason. But I'm giving context as to why I don't like a particular song.
And then we also got to shout Sexyy Red, Hoochie Coochie, new single out here. Yo, listen, one thing Sexyy Red gonna do is deliver on expectation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sexyy Red is like, yo, I do this.
She started off with her booty hole being brown. Like, this
And
is on
she's,
brand.
and she's still right there with a lot
Yep.
of.
The Joe Budden podcast was talking about this.
All right.
Shout out to another podcast.
They were talking about how she went and did the record with Bruno Mars.
Okay.
And that record was called what? It was Hot, Wet, Sexy, or Ratchet.
Sexy and wet.
Sexy and Wet.
Fat, juicy, and wet.
Right. And I think they were saying that how she went over to that side, to that pop side, and tried to do something that necessarily didn't work out or didn't blow up the way she might have intended. And then because that didn't work out, she comes back with Hoochie Coochie.
Well, and it's interesting that they analyze it that way. I thought the song was Bruno Mars' song, and she got on it. I didn't know whose song it was.
I still don't know how.
So
I still don't know logistics.
Was that
of it.
his idea, her idea, their idea?
But like even with that record, she still was who she was.
That's right, she
Like,
definitely
Yeah, it
did
wasn't
change.
like she cleaned up. Like the song is like whatever it's called.
It's called Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
Right.
Like,
So we're
and
not,
Hoochie Coochie. Like it all actually
all
all
adds
go
up.
together.
Right. So that's why I'm like when they were like, yo,
It's part of the Hoochie Gucci universe.
Yeah, it's the Fat,
Sexyy
Juicy,
Red.
Wet, Hoochie
Yeah.
Coochie, Brown,
Bro, like
Pound Town.
the double
Sexyy
entendre,
Red.
all that shit. So it's
Universe.
like,
Music universe.
she didn't leave her sector of nastiness. So that's why I was kind of confused when they were like, well, because that shit didn't work, like you can't leave us over here with all the booty hole brown and this,
Yo,
that, and
who's
the
us
third.
now? These terms.
Well, like,
Well,
like
I
her-
wasn't over there with y'all, but I do like
saying-
her music.
I'm saying like just like the music she was making before the attempt.
Got
with
it,
Bruno
got it,
Mars.
got it. Yeah, I don't think she's left.
People
that.
do that, man. Kendrick got songs with Taylor Swift. Like, what? Like, we don't got to
But
overthink
not
it.
only that, she didn't even really do that. Like, I
Yes.
mean, the only thing that is different about the Bruno Mars song versus her music is it's melodic and the instrumentation is super pop. Her raps and her being her is
Her
the
behavior,
same.
her
She's the
content
same.
wasn't different from the songs before or the one we just got right now.
Yeah.
So that was
Gucci Man got a song with Bruno.
But yeah, I don't think she left that sector of the world or her audience.
So you're saying Joe Budden and them got it wrong, is what you're saying.
I
And you
thought-
don't like it.
I just thought
So
it,
you
I-
don't like
I-
what
yeah,
they
I
had
thought,
to
I thought the observation of that was wrong.
They
I
were
thought,
incorrect.
I think they were
So who do you like
incorrect.
the least on the show is what we're asking.
I fuck with all of them. I fuck with all of them. This wasn't that. So if y'all see this shit, this wasn't that. That was that doing that.
Who do you like?
But now we go down to Atlanta and we go over to the actual news person. So Doja, the next time you throw up news,
Oh, nah.
we do have
No,
a
no, no.
journalist who.
I don't feel like
right
it's
here.
fair to be grouped in as a news person in quotes on this show.
No, but
Yeah,
when
but
it's
you
like,
can't really cover news, especially sitting next to Ebro.
no, but when it's like a Nadeska news package, we lay out.
Is this a Nadeska news package? This is a really quick Young Thug
Y'all
update.
need a breaking news. Give me like.
Chill.
The lower third.
The news is simply that Young Thug, thankfully, is not going back to prison. All right, so listen. A few days ago, he posted a photo of an investigator who testified in his RICO trial. Apparently, prosecutors had requested that she not be shown at all. They didn't want her like televised during the court hearings. So of course, people were upset about this, and they tried to file a motion to revoke his probation. So he's currently on 15 years of probation, which is pretty long. But thankfully for him, he filed a response trying to deny the motion, and then a judge actually declined it. So his probation is fine, but she did warn that it may be, quote, prudent for him to exercise restraints regarding certain topics on social media. So he tweeted about it later. He said, I don't make threats to people. I'm a good
He said, I don't
person.
make treats to people.
But he meant threats. I would never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. I will say, I love you, Young Thug, but when you post a photo of a person with a caption like, what was it, like biggest liar in the DA office, of course your fans
can't do that.
are going to threaten the person and go after them. So please don't do this. I would love you to just focus on dropping a great album.
Okay.
All right, if you want to check out any more details on the Young Thug case, you can check this at Associated Press and on Vulture.
Now, a big Dreamville moment this weekend. It popped off.
Nadeska's happy.
I didn't go there. I wasn't there.
I know, but you just love J. Cole and Dreamville.
I love every time we talk about J. Cole, Ebro has to throw it to me like I'm the only person who can talk about J. Cole on this show. He didn't even do it this time, but thanks, Eddie. I appreciate
I had
you.
to keep it going. I had to keep it going. I'm sorry.
But he was like, I can't do this to her twice in a row. But yeah,
Of
Dreamville happened
course
this
I can.
weekend.
Now,
Now I'm definitely gonna do it.
what? Over to Nadeska now with the news on the Dreamville press conference. Nadeska.
Was there a press conference?
That's what it says. April 3rd, Dreamville and Live Nation announced the return of Dreamville Fest.
We thought this was going to be the last one. Like
That's what
the
they
grand
said.
finale of the Dreamville Festival. Basically, they announced that the festival is going to continue. It just sounds like they're going to do a little bit of a rebrand.
Okay.
So I guess take the Dreamville name away from it. It sounds like Cole and his team are still going to be involved, but I don't know. They still want to keep the family reunion vibe of it. So
That's
it's
what Cole
going to
said,
keep
yeah.
happening. Yeah.
They had 21 Party Next Door, Ludacris, Ari Lennox, Chief Keef, and then Saturday Lil Wayne, the Hot Boys.
Yeah.
This is the last with the Dreamville name.
Right.
This is
And it
the
will
last
continue.
branded Dreamville
Yes.
Fest.
Yes. And I can tell you, I'm sure there's expectations of Dreamville and specifically J. Cole as they make phone calls to get people to participate in the concert, right? So getting people out there, you know, working with all of the people to get people to want to do it over these last few years, I'm sure is a drain on all of their resources.
Yeah.
But hey, man, shout out to Cole. Bring something positive to
Yeah,
his home
of
area.
course.
Like
However
look,
they
bro,
brand
like,
it, it's still
yeah,
dope.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And speaking of Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys, new Lil Wayne album.
June 6th. Carter
Everybody
6th.
ready? Carter 6 on June 6th.
Yeah, so apparently this is the end of the Carter series. Of course, his triumphant series of albums. That everyone needs to know that the Carter 2 is still the best Carter album. But yeah, so as he ends this part of his career, I think it's kind of cool. Like we did it. He's done it for a while. I think we're what we like damn near 20 years at this point. On to the new, man. You know what, Lil Wayne, bring back mixtapes. How about that? Bring back rapping over other people's beats. I mean, I'm just throwing a suggestion out there. Wayne, you don't got to do nothing, but it would be dope for him as the Carter series kind of sunsets. Whatever the next iteration of Wayne is, go mixtape Wayne. Like there's a whole generation of people that
I
have
agree
heard
with
about
that.
this version of you. Go mixtape, put it on YouTube, do that other stuff. Maybe that will make all these rappers that grew up idolizing Wayne and want to do everything Wayne did. Maybe we can get back in that lane and creatively it would infuse a different kind of energy back into hip hop.
Well, I do think that people, artists specifically, after they've done a thing, doing that thing again is sometimes creatively not as motivating because they're like, yo, I did that already. I don't want to do it again. To Eddie's point, when he's talking about maybe you could inspire people who want, who all these artists who've always wanted to be like Wayne and they've taken pieces of his, artistic and creativity. Maybe you can inspire them to get to these bars and make a mixtape. Eddie, I do want to say to that, I love that. However, have you noticed that most people who want to be like Wayne, they don't want to be the lyrical parts of Wayne.
Lazy.
They want to be the auto-tune parts of Wayne.
Lazy.
They want to be the getting high parts of Wayne.
Lazy.
They want to be the easiest parts of Wayne.
Lazy.
They don't want to get to
don't
them
wanna be-
bars like Wayne.
I don't
Lazy.
write raps version of Wayne.
Lazy.
Yeah, they want to make a rock album.
Yeah. Listen, man, rap over Nokia. Like all the big hits, whatever the big hit is, rap over what's the last Gelo song? Tweaker. Rap over Tweaker.
Well, he already did.
All right, this episode's over, man. Yeah, you bring it
Rap over Gelo, man.
Yo,
Come
man.
on.
Yo,
He was like, he had another Jello. He was like, you do that shit one more time, you'll cut the camera,
man. Yo, Nadeska, can you help us navigate the YouTube comments, please, so we can get out of here? This shit fucking, yo, fuck.
You don't want to hear
Yo,
somebody
Jello,
bar
yo,
up over Tweaker.
I never seen an artist trigger him so bad.
I'm not
so
saying, yo,
quick.
don't do that, man.
Say,
Yo,
that
man,
shit-
I put on my consultation hat for Gelo. That was a great episode. I gave him performance insights and tried to help Gelo chart and navigate his path
maneuver
through
in
doing
ice
live
skate
shows.
That said Jello, he was like, yo, Nadeska, wrap this shit up.
There's nothing else. We already talked about
talked
the
about the
Doja.
Doja shit.
Yeah, it was just comments about the Nokia video. Some people really liked it. They said it took them back to the early 2000s videos that we grew up on. I don't understand why it was so expensive. That's what I couldn't tell. It's cool. I liked it. It was fun because I do
maybe,
like
them IMAX
Nokia.
cameras.
shot in IMAX.
Them IMAX
They shot in
cameras
IMAX.
are crazy
They shot in
expensive.
IMAX.
So just when I don't watch it on my phone, it's worth the money?
No,
Like, I need to go to the movie
I think
theaters?
it's the
or-
production and how they shot it, the film they used. Like, it's just like, if you look at it, that is not a regular, 4K or 6K, however they use it. Like, that's IMAX. Like,
I need
the
to
way
watch that on a bigger screen. My bad. I watched it on my iPhone. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe my iPad.
and that's listen, man. Yo, let's wrap this up, man.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. You've already had enough. You've had enough.
He was about to go somewhere.
No,
like,
man.
I saw that head tilt. He was like, let's just kill this shit.
Yo, man.
You didn't like the video?
I do. I like the video a lot.
Oh, boy.
But you know what my thing is? Everybody want to act like it's not a thing, but we all know it's a thing.
What's the
like
thing?
everything's a thing. Like, why did you have to shoot it in IMAX? You know you did that for a reason. You saying something, bro.
Okay.
Like everything's a thing.
Okay.
But Drake is always the thing. Drake always has the thing.
But then
Drake
everybody
always
will be like,
says
why are
the-
y'all still dragging this? And we're stuck in this weird space where it's like,
No, we're not stuck in a weird space, but
No,
Drake
it
knows.
is
But no, but
because-
Drake knows shooting that shit in IMAX because how big the song is, how fun it's supposed to look, how dramatic everything he does is. We know that. That's the thing that Drake is good at. Being the thing, saying the thing, presenting the thing. We know everybody was waiting for when he announced No Kid came out. We knew that this was going to be a big situation or a big play out. We knew it. We knew this. So him shooting IMAX is not like, oh my God, I can't believe he wasted all the resource. The nigga damn near a billionaire. Of course he's going to go out the way.
Everything ain't got to be related. It's a good video, guys.
I said I like the
value.
video. That was a great
Yeah.
video. Most people don't have IMAX screens to watch something in IMAX, bro.
That's all I was asking about. Like, do I need to go to the movie theater to fully enjoy?
He didn't even release it in a movie theater.
Oh, he didn't.
Well,
okay,
I mean,
so
he
then
did it in Toronto. They had a screen.
like a one-off.
Yeah.
Man, it's Rap Life Review, man.
Okay. What's up? You just finished an episode of the Rap Life Review. It's 2025, so New Year means new episodes coming your way. If you want to get in the conversation, you can always drop us a comment below. And of course, you can like and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Catch us next week on a brand new episode of the Rap Life Review right here on Apple Music.